pickoffs, and rundowns. Mike Mack.
Thanks, Joe. Well, as always, it's an honor to be here, and you know, I thought when I got out of college coaching that would probably be the end of my speaking tour, but I've been blessed to be asked back twice, and enjoy coming every time. I've been here for 23 years now, and just love sitting here and all the speakers. Before I start, I want to thank Joe for inviting me again to come speak. I want to thank Charlie Green. I played for Charlie back in the 70s, the mid-70s, and it was the confidence he instilled in me was what extended my career and ultimately got me into coaching. And I tell him this all the time, but I wear number 25 in honor of Charlie, and he's just a great mentor and a great friend. And then yesterday, Brian Roberts made the comment that all pitchers are stupid. So I just want to comment on that. I guess that implies that all base runners are smart. So to all the smart base runners that I picked off over my years of playing, and that the hundreds of pitchers that I've taught the move to have picked off, I just want to thank you for making this move a success. And without you, I wouldn't be here speaking. So thanks to all those smart base runners. To get started, go ahead and go to the first thing there. If you guys want to take notes, you can, but I'm going to make it real simple on you. I wrote a book co-authored by Charlie Green several years ago. This will have everything that I talk about today. And I've got a special clinic price of $10. They're 3 for $20. It's the only book in here that comes with a money-back guarantee. I can guarantee you, coaches, if your pitchers will go with the simple plan that I'm going to show you today, you'll see effective results. I guarantee it. I work with a lot of pitchers. I work with lefties any chance I get, and I can tell you that when I go through the drills that I'm going to show you today, I don't spend a lot of time coaching them on the drills. I show them how to use the drills, and I let them do the drills. I let them teach themselves the pickoff move, and I'm there just to monitor what they're doing. So the purpose of the pickoff move, number one, it disables an aggressive base running team. Back when I was coaching at University of Central Florida, we played in the Olive Garden tournament, and we played University of Tennessee, and Delmonico was known for being an aggressive base running team. His teams always try to steal a lot of bases. Well, we played him, and I threw a sophomore left-handed pitcher, Tim Reichert, and he threw about 80 miles an hour max, but had a real good pickoff move, did a great job of holding runners on. So I threw Tim, and Tennessee went on to beat us 2-1. I think they stole maybe one base, but they were a much better team than us. But the fact that we shut their running game down, I think really enabled us to be in the game through 9 innings. We just couldn't pull it out at the end. The second thing it does is it increases double play opportunities. Obviously, if the runner is concerned about being picked off, then he's going to stay closer to first base. And so he's going to get a later jump on ground balls, and it's just going to increase the chance to turn two. It also it shuts down pretty much the hit and run. If he's getting a late jump, gives your outfielder a better chance of throwing a guy at third base, or it stalls that guy from trying to advance to third base. It allows for the big out in a tough situation. I can remember back when I was coaching at the pitching coach at the University of Tennessee, we were playing Oklahoma State in a regional, and we had bases loaded, and we brought Matt Myers in. Matt Myers was a pitcher that when I got there, he was a senior, never had a pickoff move. And so we worked all fall on his pickoff move and bring him in the regional. And up to that point, Matt had picked off about 22, 23 guys that season in the SEC. And bases loaded, Holiday is coaching third base, bring Matt Myers in. Everybody knows why we're bringing Matt Myers in. We're going to try to pick a guy for first base. Got 2 outs. Holiday is telling his guy to stay on first base. I want you to stay on first base. So we come up, and of course I tell Matt, all right, we're going to do some setup moves, and then we're going to throw one home, then we're going to pick the guy off. And Matt believed he could pick the guy off. Sure enough, we went through the routine. He picks a guy for first base. Holiday's F-bombing me in the dugout. I was like, you can't be F-bombing that guy. He's the one who got picked off. But it works. It gets you out of a tough situation. It works for right-handers too. Charlie Green instilled this in his program at Dade South. And I think he picked off 24 runners in one season at third base. runners that are taking that extended lead. Of course, you can't set the runners up at third base. You're going to use your good move. You're going to use your best move, and you're going to try to pick the runners off. And then, of course, it holds runners closer on squeeze attempts. You can have your third baseman actually holding a runner on or staying close to the base. It just freezes that runner a little bit longer and allows you to get a better opportunity to defense the squeeze. All right, next slide, please. All right, mound preparation. I think this is critical, and I tell this story every time I speak because I saw firsthand what mound preparation did for me. Basically, all it is scuffing up the mound, making sure you have enough footprints in the area where you're going to land, the 45-degree area. Now, the 45-degree area is the area directly intersecting the mound to the plate, 45 degrees from your line to first base. So it's just a 45-degree line. You want to land on or inside that line. That's what we try to teach our pitchers to do. So you want to scuff that area up. You want to make one good footprint, a noticeable footprint, just inside that 45-degree area. When I was in Double-A, pitching, it was the opening game of the season. Picked off first base, umpire called a balk. It wasn't even my good move. I was using a setup move, but he called a balk. Charlie Manuel, who was the manager at the time, came out to the mound and started arguing with the umpire and got the umpire to look at the foot mark that I'd made in the dirt. Now, I didn't step in that foot mark, but he got him to look at it. Now, obviously, the umpires aren't going to change the call, but what it did is it put that doubt in that umpire's mind that he messed up. I went on to pick off 4 guys that game, never got a balk call on me again, and I could tell you, honestly, I probably stepped beyond the 45-degree line 2 or 3 of those times, but he wasn't going to make that same mistake again. I can tell you this, too, that very rarely will an umpire call a balk more than one time. If you as a coach go out and plead your case, I have yet, in 23 years of coaching, I have yet had an umpire call a balk more than one time on any of my left-handed pitchers. They just won't do it. Second thing, controlling the runner's lead. As a right-handed pitcher, you're trying to get the runner to extend his lead. As a left-handed pitcher, you're trying to get the runner to shorten his lead. You're trying to get the runner to be in a comfort zone so that he feels like he can get back and not get picked off. Back when I was at Tulane University pitching, I think it was Mike Martin's first year at Florida State, and I had picked off 4 guys in the game against them, and Lionel Martinez had walked and gotten on first base. And Martin yells out instructions to Martinez to stay on first base. Take a softball lead. Do not get off that base. So I figured, well, just for the heck of it, I'm going to throw over to first base. I'm going to use my good move. Not thinking I was going to pick him up, but I looked, threw over to first base. He walked off the base. We tagged him out. Got my pickoff move. You want to control the runner's lead. You want to make sure that you are in control of the runner and the runner is not in control of you. How many of y'all have lefties on your staff right now? I would say for most of your lefties, they probably feel very uncomfortable with runners on first base. And they feel that way because they don't have the confidence in being able to hold them close, in the back of their mind thinking they're going to run on their first move, or being able to pick them off. They don't have the confidence in doing that. So by developing this move, your lefties will have the confidence to be able to have another opportunity to get an out rather than getting the guy out at the plate. There were guys that I walked literally. I walked intentionally, unintentionally, because I knew I had a better chance of picking him off than I did getting him out at the plate. That's the kind of confidence you're going to instill in your pitchers. And that's what we're going to try to teach you today, is how to develop that in your pitchers. You got to have a series of setup moves. And I call these the bad move, the good bad move, and the quick step. The quick step basically is where you've got the runner taking the huge one-way lead. And all we're going to do is, I'll do it without a glove, all we're going to do is just step off and throw to first base. All I'm trying to do is shorten his lead a little bit so I can go now with my setup moves. The bad move is going to be your obvious, move that most left-handers have anyway, but it's just going to be lift, step right at first base. And I'm going to do that maybe once or twice. I'm going to lift, and I'm going to come right at first base. I'm going to let that runner know